If you are a trainee teacher wanting to start your application for 2021, then stay tuned for this video because I will be giving you loads of tips on writing your teacher training personal statement. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Paris and I'm a newly qualified primary school teacher here in the UK. So like I said in the intro, today I will be giving you some tips on writing your personal statement if you are wanting to apply to become a student teacher or trainee teacher. Granted, it was April 2019 that I wrote my personal statement. However, I did read through it as well as doing some research to make sure that these tips were up to date for you and as helpful as possible. So my first tip would be about your first paragraph. Make sure that it is something that really draws the reader's attention in, makes them intrigued and makes them want to read on. If you kind of start by introducing yourself and saying your education background very matter-of-factly, it kind of just, I don't know, it just makes the whole essay feel a lot longer, the whole statement feel a bit dry, and this is their kind of first impression of you and they want to see you're passionate, so make that first paragraph count. The second tip I would give, and this applies to the whole essay, is you are limited in terms of lines and characters. So don't waste those by quoting somebody else or talking about your inspiration and talking about them for a while. You could possibly justify a quote if that is kind of the basis for a paragraph. So maybe you once read a quote and that really inspired you and then you proceeded to do such and such and that really got you thinking into teaching. However, if not, I really wouldn't do it because they're not interested in what other people say. They are interested in you as a person and why you want to become a teacher and why you would make a good teacher. So don't waste your words on what other people said. Just don't. And actually I was kind of surprised because at first I wanted to do this, kind of start that snappy first paragraph with like a really strong quote, but some people actually really dislike that and they really discourage it. So if in doubt, don't put it in. If it's not the basis for a paragraph or a section, leave it out. My third tip is to over talk about any experiences you have regarding children. Some of you, especially due to the COVID situation, may not have any experience with children. This doesn't mean you can't apply to become a trainee teacher. It just means you're going to have to get creative when you talk about this section. So if you do have any experience with children, even if it's outside of a school setting, that's really worth mentioning. And talk about all the things that you have learned. So whether you were somebody working in a canteen or whether you volunteered at a library or whether you volunteered in Scouts or Brownies or whatever it was, talk about what you learned, how you could apply this to the classroom. Same being said, and actually this is tip number 4, same being said, if you don't have any experience with children, make sure you talk about the skills that are transferable from that experience, that job, to the classroom, to being a teacher. So for example, let's say you've only previously worked as a retail assistant. You could say I had a lot of experience talking with customers and this has helped me gain confidence in how I would talk to parents. If you were maybe a receptionist, you could say that I am very confident with the admin side of teaching, because obviously we've got lots of policies to read through, we've got lots of admin to do, as well as all of that data collection from midterm assessments or SATs, etc, etc. So you could use that to your advantage. You are not out of the game if you don't have experience with children. That is okay. As long as you can talk about some skills that are transferable, then you've still got a chance. My 5th tip is, like I said before, the readers want to find out about you as a person. What are your passions? What's your personality like? And so feel free to kind of incorporate this throughout your personal statement. So if you were talking about your job, for example, you could say, I was really passionate about this aspect and this is one of my personal interests. So I would like to be sure that if I do have the opportunity when I work in a school, I would like to maybe do an after school club, or I would like to put a particular emphasis on IT skills within the children because I feel like sometimes teachers aren't as confident with their IT skills, those kind of things. You could talk about examples that show good time management, good communication with others, good teamwork, but also being able to work independently. Examples of that as well. So yeah, talk about your personality as well as your professional skills using examples to show that. If you just say, I'm very good at time management, or I am very good at talking to people, but you don't show anything to back it up, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't have any impact whatsoever because you could just be making it up. Through X or doing Y, I allowed myself to gain more practice within or I became better at that kind of thing. That leads me on nicely to tip 6, which is don't be scared to talk about some challenges you might have faced, whether this is in your current career, or try and make it linked to education, or at least a skill that's transferable to education. Don't be scared to talk about your challenges and how you overcame them. Put a positive twist on it, because it allows you to kind of show your vulnerability, but also show that you can overcome any negatives. You know, you don't let one thing completely drag you down. You fight over it, and people really, really admire that. So show the challenges, talk about how you overcame them, talk about what you learned from them, and then try and link this to your future teaching journey. My last tip for you is for that closing paragraph. You want to make sure that you have a good few lines left. You don't want to leave it on the last paragraph that you wrote and it just have an abrupt ending. You want to summarize your personal statement nicely and kind of have a, because of all the stuff above, this is why I would love to be a teacher, and in future I would love to be a Senko, or I would love to be an IT lead if you were talking about your interest in IT and how you want to do an after school club. Or if your experiences come mostly from sports coaching, you want to say, and I hope to have a great impact on children's physical well-being in future. Something like that. You really want to end it on a positive note. You want to kind of summarize your personal statement very, very quickly. You also want to kind of say your future goals, because obviously you want to become a teacher, but is there anything beyond that, with like a subject lead or a Senko? Anything like that, include that in the bottom of your personal statement. Show that you are committed to this journey and you want to make a difference in the children's lives, and just show that you're passionate about becoming a teacher. So I apologise for the waffle, but I hope this helped you. If this video is well received and it's helpful to people, I'm more than happy, like I said, to do more videos, maybe a personal statement structure almost. Or if you have any video requests for your 2021 application, just leave them down below. I'm more than happy to look into it for you. Again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more teacher training content, and hit the bell so you get notified whenever I upload. I'll see you soon, and good luck with your application. Bye!